It's the day after Thanksgiving in Little Falls, Minnesota.
Black Friday.
But this particular Black Friday will forever be known as the darkest day in the town's entire history. The horror of what has happened here begins to come to light on this Black Friday around noon when Bill Anderson gets a cryptic phone call from his Elm Street neighbor, Byron Smith.
He says, "Could you find me a lawyer that I could talk to and send him down here?"
Bill assumes it's regarding the string of break-ins at Byron's house, then calls around for him.
And had no luck at all.
Because it's Black Friday.
So I called Byron back, and he asked me to get in touch with this Deputy Luberts that was at his house and see if he would come out there.
Deputy Jamie Luberts is the officer who is already investigating the burglaries.
Did Byron tell you something significant had happened at his home?
He actually told me I blew the top off the break-ins down here.
Did you know what that meant?
Nope. No idea whatsoever.
But Bill calls the sheriff's office anyway, asking for Deputy Luberts.
Is he there?
No, he's not in today.
Well, he's not in today.
Is there something I could help you with?
Well, we got a serious problem out here in the Riverwood area.
Okay. What kind of problem are we talking?
Well, yeah, that break-in situation we've been having on Elm Street.
When Deputy Luberts can't be reached, his twin brother, Sergeant Jeremy Luberts, also with the Sheriff's Department, goes out to visit Byron. And Sergeant Luberts has a feeling something is amiss the moment he arrives at Byron's house.
He had his hands raised above his head, like he was giving himself up for something. And that was just odd. You know, nobody usually does that.
Even stranger, it doesn't initially appear to Sergeant Luberts that Byron has done anything wrong.
He put his hands down and he invited us into his house and then started telling us what happened.
Byron tells Sergeant Luberts and a patrol partner there has indeed been another break-in the day before on Thanksgiving afternoon. And he leads them down the hallway to his bedroom, showing them a window that the intruders had smashed to gain entry to the house.
I could tell by looking at the window the glass was broken on the inside, so it appeared that somebody was on the outside and broke into his house. So he then tells us he has something to show us downstairs.
In the basement, which Byron has turned into an elderly gentleman's cave where he likes to sit and read.
Surrounded in bookshelves.
But Sergeant Luberts quickly becomes alarmed as he looks around the room.
I can see on the floor, on the rug, right at the bottom of the stairs, what appears to be a blood spot. And then I can see what appeared to be a smear of blood on the wall.
He also spots a pair of what are obviously kids' sneakers and really starts to get the creeps.
It just seems odd. Something's weird going on here.
And it's about to go beyond weird to downright gruesome.
There's a door closed, and he said the bodies are behind here.
The bodies of two intruders Byron admits he shot dead.
When you open that door and you see those bodies laying there, what goes through your mind?
At first, it was kind of shock.
And tragically, the slain intruders would turn out to be a pair of unarmed local teenagers who were still in high school. 17-year-old Nicholas Brady and his 18-year-old cousin, Haley Kiefer.
All of a sudden, we have two dead kids in a guy's house.
I knew we had one mess of a case.
Byron Smith is taken into custody on second-degree murder charges and waives his Miranda rights to tell Sergeant Luberts his version of what happened that deadly Thanksgiving afternoon.
I was in the basement in my favorite reading chair, reading a paperback, and I see a shadow go past the picture window. Then somebody's rattling the basement door trying to get in, but it also is locked and unbolted.
Byron says he watches the monitor of his new home surveillance system where cameras he just mounted outside show two intruders prowling around his house.
And then the shadow leaves and I hear somebody walking across the deck.
He watches as the intruders peer inside his windows.
Like they're trying to see what they can see inside.
They're also checking if any doors are unlocked.
And I'm getting seriously stressed because somebody wants in and they're trying to sneak in, and it's happened before.
Then Byron says something makes him panic.
And I hear a glass window broken.
So the old man says he grabs two of his guns, a Mini 14 rifle and a .22 caliber pistol.
In the past couple of weeks, I've gotten into the habit of carrying my guns with me inside my house because I don't know who's going to break in when.
And now he says he might have to use them.
So I'm sitting there and I hear the steps come down the hallway, turn around and come down the stairs.
Byron tells detectives he has a tough choice.
And I decide that I've got a choice of either shooting or being shot.
Suddenly, a dead Nicholas Brady is lying at the bottom of the stairway.
After I shot him, I sat down in this chair and I was just tingling. Adrenaline. I hate adrenaline. And my blood was pounding in my ears, and I just wanted to calm down more than anything else.
But the killing isn't over yet because Nick Brady's partner in crime is right behind him.
And I hear more footsteps coming down the hallway. And somebody else starts down the stairs.
And Haley Kiefer is a dead girl walking.
I just couldn't think. I didn't think. I wasn't thinking. I was just... They're ganging up on me. So I killed her too.
But Sergeant Luberts can't understand why Byron would let the bodies of the two teenagers lie rotting in his home for a full day before calling police.
I have to ask Byron, after the shooting and it's done, why didn't you call law enforcement to report what happened?
I was pretty much afraid to do anything. An hour later, I had this screwball thought that seems sort of irrational now, but just because my Thanksgiving screwed up, I don't need to screw up yours.
Next, suspicious investigators uncover another possible explanation. This shocking audio recording that plays like a macabre soundtrack for premeditated overkill.
Cute. I'm sure she thought she was a real pro.
He's got a full surveillance system around his house, cameras. He's watching the monitor while he's sitting in a chair waiting.